Alright there guys, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. Today we will be going back to and taking a break from Dominaria and doing some quick draft of Theros Beyond Death. I recently just did a draft. I didn't play any games, but it was probably the worst draft experience of my life, I have to say. I don't think anyone read any signals, and I was just being passed a bunch of random stuff. And I couldn't even build a cohesive deck with synergy. So unfortunately, I had to resign and waste 1.5k gems, which is essentially $10. But yeah, I don't mind just going back to doing some quick draft Theros Beyond Death. Of course, the bots haven't fixed the black-red situation going on, but I'm kind of banking that we end up drafting another archetype for Theros Beyond Death, because this is my favorite standard set, and we can maybe hopefully explore something else, and I do like this set a lot. So, without further ado, let's begin. Alright, Theros Beyond Death, pack 1, pick 1, a pretty powerful rare. First Iroan Games. Essentially, create a 4/4, and then you draw 2 cards in 3 turns. Pretty broken. The 4th chapter is also pretty nice, because it can also help you ramp, and fix your mana, and splash. So yeah, First Iroan Games seems like the clear first pick. Other good cards in this pack. Staggering Insight is also a very powerful first pickable card. I would definitely first pick it as well, since if you can attach this onto a flyer and it can constantly attack, and then you can constantly protect it, then you can essentially just run away and win the game. So it can also be a pretty powerful bomb, so to speak, if it goes unanswered. There's Dreadful Apathy and Final Death as 2 excellent removal spells in this pack, but I'll probably take the Final Death over Dreadful Apathy given how powerful Black is in this set. And this exiles right away, while Dreadful Apathy requires you to enchant the creature first and then pay 2 generic and a white to exile. So it's essentially a 6 mana sorcery speed exile of a creature. But so it's better to have, I guess, a 5 mana instant speed exile over a 6 mana one. And then Voracious Typhon is probably the best escape common. Creature to escape at common, I mean. But here, I think it's just an easy First Iroan Games, just a really powerful card. And hopefully we can end up drafting green this time, because I really like green in this set. And we don't have to kind of force ourselves into Rakdos aggro. So we'll see. Followed up by the First Iroan Games, who don't mind me an Inevitable End as the best card in this pack. Overall, nothing too exciting. Obviously not the best removal spell. I was about to talk about this. Yeah, obviously not the best removal spell, but and it's quite slow since it doesn't get a blocker out of the opponent's turn, but it's still pretty solid in this set, but pretty bad against tokens, so it's not great in all situations, but still a solid card. Here I'm going to take a Voracious Typhon as the best green common, along with Warbriar's Blessing and Loathsome Chimera. Green is arguably the second best color in this set, and this is the best escape creature at common. Other great cards include Daybreak Chimera, Skovos Warleader for the red-black sacrifice deck, and that's pretty much it. I think I'll take a Voracious Typhon, and maybe we can drop a nice black-green escape deck. And we'll take a Mars Grasp. Okay, that's pretty late. I think Mars Grasp is obviously very first pickable. I would take my first Mars Grasp over my first Inevitable End. I mean, not Inevitable End, my first Final Death. But I would definitely take a Final Death over my second Mars Grasp. Just a very efficient card. 2 mana, kill a small creature or 3 toughness creature, and then with any large creature you can shrink it down. Alternatively, there's Hateful Eidolon, Underworld Charger, and Return to Nature, which are arguably pretty good as well. I would probably take Hateful Eidolon if Mars Grasp wasn't in this pack, since it goes so well with Inevitable End. But both of these 2 cards are quite good. But we'll still take Mars Grasp here. And I guess we're going to be drafting Black-Green Escape, because now I do see a late Fairies Band Brawler. Pretty powerful 6-drop. Enters the battlefield and fights a target creature that I don't control. However, there's also Warbriar's Blessing, which could arguably just be more efficient and cheaper. And we do have a Voracious Typhon that can fight pretty well as a First Iroan Games already. So both of these cards are actually kind of close. Fairies Band Brawler gives us a nice late game curve topper and a body that can take out something. Warbriar's Blessing is just easier to cast for 2 mana. There's also Elysian Caryatid. I used to call it Elysian Caryatid. No, I pronounced it incorrectly. It's Elysian Caryatid, which is an excellent 2-drop, but I would probably prefer Warbriar's Blessing or the Band Brawler over it. There's also some pretty excellent black-red sacrifice cards: Soul Reaper, Underworld Ragehound, Discordant Piper, and Scarred Rage Berserker. Rage Scar Berserker, but I think this time we're going to be drafting my favorite archetype in this set, being Black-Green Escape. Now, which one do I prefer, the Band Brawler or the Warbriar's Blessing? Probably the Warbriar's Blessing. Even if your creatures aren't so large, the fact that this gives +0/+2 in fights, it's quite powerful. It's also pretty cheap and efficient. I would love a Band Brawler if we get past one, but here I think I have to settle for the Warbriar's Blessing. Here, don't mind me, a Relentless Pursuit, since it can help enable escape for the Voracious Typhon. Also helps you hit your land drops, it fills your yard, find a creature, etc. Although we do have a bunch of non-creature spells, so we might run the risk of milling them over. Unfortunately, there's nothing else I would consider besides an Omen of the Dead in this pack, which we can always take up later. So I'll take a Relentless Pursuit. And Nesting Wanderer versus Elysian Caryatid. I think the Elysian Caryatid is just better. Like, I don't really want to rely on triggering Constellation to find lands, while the Elysian Caryatid already gives you essentially an extra land by ramping. So it seems like the right pick here over the Nesting Wanderer. Nesting Wanderer I would definitely pick, and I would definitely play in this deck, but I think the Caryatid is just a lot more effective. Although the Nesting Wanderer is a pretty decent ground blocker as well. So there's an argument for that, but I don't really want to trigger Constellation. We do have a bunch of enchantments already, but I don't really want to trigger Constellation just to hit my land drop. I think I prefer to just ramp. So I'll take the Elysian Caryatid here. And a late Loathsome Chimera for the Black-Green Escape deck. Awesome. So yeah, finally my first Theros Beyond Death Black-Green Escape deck. And it just had to happen. Right after a disastrous Dominaria draft, so it's going to be my pick. Pretty excellent card to escape. And I guess I don't mind a Discordant Piper. I don't necessarily find Moss Viper playable, although it can be decent with the Warbriar's Blessing. I mean, we're not really looking to sacrifice either way, so I don't know if we even want a Discordant Piper. We'll take a Moss Viper. Maybe we can make it work. And nothing else here I want. And I don't mind a Skola Grove Dancer as a decent way to enable escape in the late game, and also a find 2-mana 2/2 card. Don't really like Nyxborn Colossus, but if you can ramp into it and fight with it, then it's pretty nice. But we'll take a Skola Grove Dancer. We can even splash for Ashiok if we find them, so we'll take a Traveler's Amulet. Also helps fuel escape. And a nice Rage Scar Berserker is a decent curve topper. Usually in Black-Green, you don't want to prioritize the Rage Scar Berserker, since most of your creatures are, again, already large. But I'm not going to take it over a Moss Viper. So Rage Scar Berserker might not be at its best in Black-Green, and we might have to find another replacement 5-drop, but for now, it's definitely better than the Moss Viper. So glad I'm actually drafting my favorite archetype here, Black-Green Escape, and we don't have to draft any more Red-Black Sacrifice for now, so quite happy that this has happened. And now I can just take a Mire's Grasp over Inevitable End. I think, again, Mire's Grasp is just better. Gets a blocker out of the way, 3 toughness. This can answer virtually almost anything in this set. Inevitable End, it's a good removal spell, but a little bit slower. And they can just sack. And if you run against an opponent playing Commanding Presence, there are lots of tokens. This isn't going to be super effective. But it'll definitely be my second pick out of this pack. Pack 1 pick 1, Heliod's Intervention is undeniably pretty powerful. Can also be a 3 or 2 for 1. And the life gain is also pretty powerful and relevant. But here we'll just take a Mars Grasp for our deck. Take another one. Well, I mean, there's also Venomous Hierophant as a nice escape enabler. I mean, our removal looks pretty solid. Double Mars Grasp, Warbriar's Blessing, and Inevitable End. Maybe we just want the escape enabler, and Venomous Hierophant is quite powerful. Alternatively, there is another Loathsome Chimera in this pack. But the rule of thumb with having an escape deck is that you don't want too much escape, since if you have too much escape creatures, they can just gobble up your yard, and you won't be able to escape the other creature, of course. There's also Relentless Pursuit as an escape enabler. Given that I have double Mars Grasp already, and I think I'll just take a Venomous Hierophant, since I'd rather have my first copy to help enable escape. It's also a fine 4-drop with Death Touch. I know we have Relentless Pursuit already to enable escape, and also Grove Dancer, but I think we need one, or maybe we can just get away with our Mars Grasp. It's just so strong. I mean, the Vacuum is just better. I mean, the question is, are we going to have any difficulty enabling escape? Relentless Pursuit is good. Skull of Grove Dancer we can always activate in the late game. Maybe we can trade off some creatures. Maybe maybe we just take another Mars Grass. Is going to go into the yard. It's going to help us enable escape. So yeah, I guess I just take the more powerful card, Mars Grass. But Venomous Hierophant would also be a nice second. How good is Lampad? We're not really looking to sacrifice. It can be a decent closer though. But maybe we just want another Skola Grove Dancer to enable escape. Warbriar's Blessing seems pretty no-brainer here. Nice fight spell, nice removal spell. So now our removal is stacked. I'm definitely going to prioritize the Venomous Hierophant. There's an Agonizing Remorse, but I don't think I need it. Could actually play a Scavenging Harpy. Not a big fan of this card, but against opposing escape decks, it can be fine. And we could use some evasion for our deck. I don't really want main deck Return to Nature, but it's actually pretty good in this set. But we do have a lot of removal already. So, don't know if I'm main deck it, but if we don't have enough playables, I'll definitely main deck a copy. Don't mind Setessan Training, goes into the yard, gives our creatures trample. Nice way to feel escape when the creature dies. Setessan Training is pretty decent. Do I really want 3 of these? Probably don't need 3 of these, but I'll put one in the sideboard for now. Setessan Petitioner can maybe make it or break it. It can. We do have a decent number of Green Devotion. I think we actually take the Wings of Hubris here. Although I wouldn't mind a Relentless Pursuit. We have a copy. We could run into a weird situation where we need some sort of alternate angle of attack. And we need to kind of just fly over with our large creatures to close out the game. So I think the Wings of Hubris is also a pretty good card for a deck. Okay, so this pack went pretty decently. I definitely will prioritize a Venomous Hierophant now, given to have so much removal, triple Mars Grass, double Warbriar's Blessing, Inevitable End, and we do need some, we do need to have some more ways to enable escape, more escape creatures, of course. But overall, this deck is pretty solid, so we'll see what we open up next pack. And Drag to the Underworld is pretty strong. There's no other cards I really like. I mean, there's another Mars Grass. I'm not going to play a Treacherous Blessing in a deck where I can't sacrifice it. Just take a Drag to the Underworld, so we're going to have all the removal in the world, essentially. And then now we can finally pick an escape creature, and which one do we want? Probably just a Voracious Typhon. There's also Hateful Eidolon that's pretty strong with our triple Mars Grass and Warbriar's Blessing, so I can also consider that. But we could use another beefy ground creature like this Voracious Typhon. And Hateful Eidolon can still get answered pretty early on, so even if you enable those Mars Grasp, it can still die. Fall of Voracious Typhon is another excellent escape creature. You don't mind just getting back from the yard. And we do have a gap at 4. We do need to fill up the 4-drop department. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind a Loathsome Chimera, but Voracious Typhon is just better. So we'll take it here. And a Mar Triton, excellent way to enable escape, excellent 2-drop. Can gain you a bit of life as well, can hold the ground against other large creatures. I think the Mar Triton is a no-brainer. And even a Nessine Hornbeetle. Well, there is a Chainweb Arachneer, which I'm also a big fan of, but with all this removal, triple Mars Grasp, Enable End, and double Warbriar's Blessing, and Drag to the Underworld, I think we should be fine dealing with flyers, and we do have double Voracious Typhon and Loathsome Chimera ready. So I think we just take the Nessine Hornbeetle. It's pretty powerful. We have a decent number of 4 power, 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5 with the Iroan Games, so it can constantly grow over time. So I think it's just a really good card for our deck, and we could use a good 2-drop. I guess I'll take my Venomous Hierophant now. Happy to see this late in the pack. Did see there's another Inevitable End, but again, we already have enough removal. We just need ways to enable escape, more excellent creatures that we can play. Now, I don't mind an Underworld Charger, although we do have a bunch of stuff to escape already. Do I really want a second Setessan Training, though? Like, this is pretty much our deck at this point. Huh. This is pretty difficult. Like, maybe I can run 16 lands with 2 Setessan Trainings, since they can draw me into my stuff anyways. The Underworld Charger is fine, but the fact is it can't block. We have 3 escape creatures already. We probably don't need a 3rd one, even though I don't mind having it in the deck. Might actually just play this Moss Viper to actually have some decent early game in this deck as well. So I guess I'll just take a Setessan Training, maybe go 16 lands with it. How good is Nyx Herald? We don't really have too much enchantment creatures. There's double Skull, a Grove Dancer. I guess there's the Warbrier's Blessing creature and also Setessan Training. It's also a pretty decent 3-drop that I don't mind. And given that we might just main deck this Wings of Hubris, we probably don't need the Scavenging Harpy at all. We're also not looking to ramp for the Nyxborn Colossus. We're not focused on Black Devotion for a Nyxborn Marauder, so Nyx Herald can actually be better in our deck, and that is Chainweb Arachnir. I think I had to take it here. Alternatively, there's a Nessian Wanderer, but the Chainweb Arachnir is pretty good. So maybe we could just ditch a Skull of Grove Dancer from this deck and run 16 lands and maybe play out the Chainweb Arachnir in the deck. Or we can take the Nessian Wanderer to hit our land drops if we're going 16 lands. Yeah, because again, we do have another lot of removal already. So maybe the Nessian Wanderer actually isn't that bad in our deck. Just helping us hit our land drops if we're going 16 lands. So yeah, let's take it. I don't hate it. Could maybe play another Rage Scar, I don't know. Okay, so looking at this deck, maybe we just go 16 lands. I don't mind just going even split, even though we are favoring green a little bit more, and one more cut. We could just cut the Rage Scar Berserker and play one copy. It could be fine since we have double Voracious Typhon already. We are running low on creatures though, however. So we could consider something else. I mean, we're going to escape these creatures anyways, and they're going to come back unless the opponent has Graveyard Hate. Maybe we can just try this out. I think we should be fine. Like, with all these escape creatures, we should be fine. And all this removal, we should also be fine. I don't think we need to worry about anything. We'll just go 16 lands. And this deck looks fine. So, yeah, let's try this deck out. Seems pretty good. We have Wings of Hubris to fly over. We have enough removal spells to deal with big threats. We can just start beating down. I think this deck is pretty solid. The only weakness of this deck is, of course, decks that can exile our graveyard, of course, and mess with it. So hopefully we don't run across too many of those. Okay, Nyx Herald, First Iroan Games seems fine. Don't mind keeping this. We can surprise him with the green out of nowhere. The question is, which one do we play first? Prior to First Iroan Games, if he does have a way to bounce or kill our 1/1 token, I might regret it. So hopefully maybe we can find another 4-powered creature along with this, but it's still a pretty good card if it doesn't get answered. We We don't have to show them our true colors yet. I don't think I need to play the First Iroan Games just yet. So now what can I do? I could Mars Grasp this. Alternatively, I can just play out the Nyx Herald and maybe fight it next turn. Yeah, we'll just pass the turn. We'll take 3. Maybe we can use a Warbriar's Blessing to fight it, since it can exile a creature from our graveyard in the future. Alternatively, I can just Mars Grasp it, but Warbriar's Blessing seems better. Since, okay, so I can just kill the opponent. So what I can do now is I can take out both of these creatures, which I don't mind. Alternatively, I can play out Nessian Hornbeetle and fight. Actually, I think I need to Mars Grasp and do all of this stuff. So yeah, I think yeah, I don't mind just using a Warbriar's Blessing here. Fighting this 3/1 first, so he doesn't escape anything from our yard. And then we'll just Mars Grasp the 2/2, and then get him for 3. And this is going to be a pretty difficult creature to block at 5 toughness. So he wants to use, if he wants to use a removal spell on it, then the First Iroan Games can deal with it. There's a Venomous Hierophant, but I don't want to do it in the face of the Leonin of the Lost Pride. So I think I'll just play the First Iroan Games here. Make a 1/1. Hope he doesn't flicker the 1/1. It's attacking for 3. I can also trade for it, the 3/1. But I kind of want a target to put my 4/4 counters onto, because if I try to put my 3/1 counters onto the Nyx Herald, what he can do is he can flicker it in response. I guess the trade is good. Yeah, let's just trade. If he uses a flicker on my Nyx Herald, I might regret it, but it's just a flicker. It's not gonna mess me up that badly, I don't think. Okay, so that's good. So now we can play out the Nessian Hornbeetle and start growing it instead. Yeah, don't mind that. Although I could play the Venomous Hierophant to be a little bit more mana efficient. I just want to grow the Nessian Hornbeetle. Never mind, okay. So that was bad for me. Just holding on to a Triumph Surge all along. So cheeky. Right, so we didn't get the card draw, but at least the Venomous Hierophant can maybe mill our library for some goodies. No goodies yet. Attacking for 2. We'll love the Funeral Rites in this deck as well. We also have a Drag to the Underworld, instant speed to ambush him if he tries anything. Don't mind just attacking here. He could flash in like an Omen of the Sun and go for some weird triple block. We can use the Drag to essentially just mess up his blocks. Opponent's just going to take 5. Quite happy with that. Say go. Hero. I guess I don't mind just fighting that or dragging it, but fighting it isn't bad with the Venomous Hierophant, since it's the worst removal spell in my hand. Alternatively, I can just play a Voracious Typhon. Maybe that's just better. And then my Nessian Hornbeetle can start growing. I guess I can also just fight here. But maybe we're just fine having the hero to wins on the battlefield, since even if he tries to put a commanding presence onto it, we can just kill it with the Warbriar's Blessing or drag it to the Underworld, so this isn't bad. I really don't know what he can do here. I guess he can Karametra's Blessing and trade for the Venomous Hierophant. It's not going to die though. I guess he could have like some 2-mana trick here. Gift of Strength. I mean, it's going to result in a trade regardless, since it has Death Touch, so I don't understand that. It's just a 2-for-1. Nothing exciting. I'll happily take a 2-for-1 here. His own Voracious Typhon, okay. Guess I don't mind just playing the Nessian Wanderer, using the Warbriar's Blessing and fighting it. And hopefully, if the fight manages to kill it. Just want to thin our deck, I suppose. And I don't think I need to be afraid of any aspect of Lamprey here, so we can happily attack in for 8 and pass. Guess he can escape it, but who cares? We'll just kill it and just attack him for lethal. Yeah, this game is about over. We just had way too much removal in this deck. Alright, Elysian Caryatid, Nessian Wanderer. We can do a turn 3 Voracious Typhon, seems pretty good. Transcend Envoy, could see a Staggering Insight on it, and that would suck. We don't have to show them our true colors yet. Next turn we have access to a Nessian Wanderer and Mara's Grasp if we try something. If we Staggering Insights this, I'd be quite happy, not gonna lie. Heliod's Pilgrim for the Staggering Insight, I'm assuming. Please get a Staggering Insight. If it's a Dreadful Apathy, then that's gonna suck because I don't want my Voracious Typhon to get answered. Okay, there it is. So now what? Guess we just let that resolve onto his creature and we'll Mara's Grasp it the turn after. So I think I'll play out the Voracious Typhon here, seems pretty good. And now I have extra mana to use for the Elysian Caryatid. Hopefully there's no Karametra's Blessing that gets in the way. But yeah, he's just gonna enhance it, draw a card. So the only way I can see myself losing this is maybe Karametra's Blessing. So now what? I guess I'll play the Elysian Caryatid. I mean the Nessian Wanderer first. And I have 2 mana to equip the Setessan Training to draw a card. And I can use 2 mana. I guess I'll Mars Grasp first. Doesn't matter. Don't think it matters. Well, it's gone. And now we can get a land, get a swamp, and then we can Setessan Training onto the Voracious Typhon, which also triggers Constellation. Doesn't really. I don't think it matters which one happens first. Well, we missed out on some good cards. And then we just drew a land, so that's not good. Not very good for us. But hopefully this Constellation effect will just allow us to thin out our deck. Here comes a Banishing Light, dealing with our Death Touch. I mean our nice escape creature. And we're just drawing lands, so getting unlucky here. I guess that's a job of the Nessian Wanderer to just give us a bunch of lands, of course. But hopefully we can find more playables off the top. We just bought a whole bunch of powerful cards. Mars Grasp is good, but I don't really want to cast it yet. We'll happily attack in for 3. Pass the turn. Well, still nothing. Okay. I guess I still have nothing, so just another fun game of Magic. Everyone's just drawing lands, no action. Opponent could just be holding on to nothing but removal and sandbagging it. I can fight with the Warbriar's Blessing, but I don't think it's a good fight. I could actually fight, but nah, we'll save it. We'll just keep attacking. Like I could of course fight and of course get in for extra 2 damage, but I really don't think we have to. It doesn't seem like a good target to fight with. Okay, now Skull Grove Dancer can maybe help us mill. So let's move to attacks. Actually, we'll play the Skola first. Doesn't really matter. I don't really want to fight a 1-2. We'll just move to combat first, get him for 3. And maybe prompt him to use some sort of removal or something on the Nyx Herald. He's happy just taking 5, okay. Don't have any escape creatures in the yard. Okay, but at least we're just thinning out the deck, which I'm happy with. So we'll just pass. Still nothing, okay. That's a funny attack. Guess I don't mind just using the activated abilities to maybe find an escape creature and put it into your yard. We do have another Voracious Typhon in the deck. Setessan Training is pretty good. Guess I don't mind on my Nessian Wanderer, because now I can use a Nyx Herald on the Nessian Wanderer and pump it. And I guess I don't mind just moving to attacks here. Maybe we can pump the Nessian Wanderer. Attack with all. Yeah, I guess I'm fine attacking the Elysian Caryatid. Yeah. Once you kill the Staggering Insight and he doesn't have a way to protect his creature, you essentially just win. But Staggering Insight's pretty gross. Not gonna lie. But it seems that that opponent just flooded out really badly. But we also had to bomb some really good cards with the Nessian Wanderer. Alright, well, turn 3 Loathsome Chimera, and we have the mana for the Voracious Typhon. I think it's a fine keep. Ooh, even Wings of Hubris on the Loathsome Chimera. That's pretty powerful. Land off the top would be also pretty nice, since we can also curve into the Rage-Scar Berserker. And I like how this is only one generic to put on the Loathsome Chimera. Vanishing Light, okay. So you use it on a Chimera, that's fine. We have a Voracious Typhon, and hopefully he doesn't use a Dreadful Apathy on it. I do have another Voracious Typhon in the deck, so hopefully if I can find that one, that'll be pretty nice too. But let's see if we can answer the second escape creature. Hopefully nothing. No apathy, please. Please, no apathy. Okay, no apathy. Sentinel's Eyes, okay, so that can hold it off for a while. That's fine. I have a Rage-Scar Berserker that can maybe punch through to 2/5. We can also set Tets in Training on it, but I think it's better to be mana efficient. And he can just take 5 here, which is a lot of damage. Next turn I can set Tets in Training onto the Voracious Typhon, and maybe give wings to my to one of them. Nylea's Forerunner is pretty strong. Guess I don't mind just a test in training on the Voracious Typhon. I have a force anyways to cast a green, so I don't think I need to care about anything here. We're happy playing out the land, playing out the Moss Viper, equipping wings onto our Typhon, attacking for 5. We can also attack with the Rage-Scar Berserker if he answers our Typhon. And then Moss Viper can hold off the 5/3 for the time being. Of course, this is going to gain him life, so that's going to be a nuisance. Well, that's not what I want to see. So there goes our escape creatures. We do have one more Typhon in the deck. Well, this Venomous Hierophant would have been pretty nice, but yeah, I guess I could sacrifice my Wings of Hubris, but I do need to kind of get across. So I do need to kind of keep it attacking in the air with this. Now we can play the Venomous Hierophant, which is also another fine Death Touch creature. And we milled a bunch of land, so that does make me happy. So hopefully he doesn't deal with our Rage-Scar Berserker. If he does, we're going to have some issues. Hopefully, luckily there's no Flicker of Fate here. So he just needs to deal with our flying creature, and we're in good shape. Drag to the Underworld is pretty powerful. I could drag to the Underworld the Nexus Wardens, but I prefer him to chump first or something. So I'm going to hold on to the drag, maybe surprise him. He could have some sort of way to deal with my Rage-Scar Berserker. But for now, I'm just going to hold on to the drag. Maybe he has a way to fight it. Glory Bearers, okay. Maybe I should have killed the Nexus Wardens before I resolved, but I think I'm fine with him gaining life. Okay, we're just going to put a Moss Viper in front of it and take 4. So that's fine with me. He will trample over, but he still has a trade down, so that's quite nice. Relentless Pursuit, pretty nice card. Okay. Just wanted a creature off the top, but there is another Voracious Typhon in the deck, so let's move to combat, attack for 5. Maybe we can force him to chump. If he tries something, we'll drag it to the underworld. They usually have a trick here. Oops. So that's a solid 2 for 1. And I'm fine just taking 5 here. Opponent's probably just going to start attacking here for 6. I think I'm fine taking 6. Yeah, I think I'm fine taking 6. I'm nowhere near lethal. And I can attack for 5 in the air instead, so that's quite nice. Another Glory Bearer is okay. We have a 2-turn clock, and the Skull of Grove Dancer can also gain us some life, so I'm quite happy about that. So we're just going to play out the Skola. Attacking for 5, we can also gain some life. Or I can chump with the Skola. Chumping the Skola doesn't seem bad. If he does answer the Rage Scar, I do need 3 damage to get across. So he needs to activate it again, or else he won't have life to survive. And he also needs a removal for the 5/4, so Wings of Hubris getting the job done. Is there any 1-mana trick that can punish me? Not really. Don't think there's any trick that deals 3 damage out of nowhere. There's a Charametra's Blessing, but that's not going to kill me. Yeah, that's not going to kill me. I'm in good shape. Right. Currently 3-0. Let's keep this show on the road. Right, turn 1, Moss Viper. Okay, seems good. We have both our escape creatures. So this seems like a good hand. Just hopefully we can find some removal to clear a path and start beating down before they kill our escape creatures. Don't really like the Moss Viper in this set due to the fact that there's less way to deal with 1 toughness. But usually a copy isn't bad, especially if we can hold off like a big ground blocker. Daxos, okay. We can kill Daxos, but I think think we'll just play the Voracious Typhon first, and next turn we have access to Inevitable End, and we can play out a Loathsome Chimera. So red-white, okay, I mean... Okay, so that can trade off for my Typhon, so I do want to kill it, so I think the option here is just to use the Inevitable End on the 4-2, play land, play the Loathsome Chimera and pass, and then we can start beating down next turn. He does gain life, but I think it's going to hold off my Typhon, so I don't really want on the battlefield. Maybe the right call was to kill Daxos, I don't know. But I don't mind just attacking with both here. And the second Voracious Typhon in case the first one dies. So we'll just send them both. He can do a good double block on the Typhon. Yeah, I actually don't mind this. And then we'll just pull out the second Typhon here. Play them all out, keep land in hand. And hopefully we can find some escape enablers to get this out from the graveyard. Or at least get our Typhon out. Because we have 7 mana to escape one of them. Hero the games, okay. So he can maybe trade for one of my Typhons, but this hero needs to get pumped. So I think we're fine just at moving the attacks. He's gonna pump and trade, seems fine. Eventually we can escape it, but currently don't want to. So Wrapped in Flames will be pretty bad here because he can also deal with our 1-drops. But that Incendiary Oracle is a pain in the butt. Guess I don't mind losing one of my Voracious Typhons to the Incendiary Oracle. Maybe I just need the wall. Yeah, maybe we aren't supposed to attack this turn. Let's just stay back. Because this Incendiary Oracle can exile my Voracious Typhon, which I don't want. And I can just put my Moss Viper in front of it if it gets to that point. Okay, we're just drawing a bunch of lands. This is 16 lands, so hopefully we can find some goodies off the top. Could have a Commanding Presence in his hand. That's what he's probably thinking of right now. Alright, 16 lands. We're just drawing a bunch of lands. Pretty fun game of Magic, of course. Let's draw more lands, please. Can we actually find some playables? I mean, we have all of our escape creatures in our opening hand and we can't even get anything. Okay, now this is good. I think I don't mind just using Mars Grass on the Incendiary Oracle. Just to get rid of it. Probably has like a Karametra's Blessing here, or... I mean, maybe... Okay, Flicker. At least the Flicker's gone. And we put another good card into the yard. I could escape the Loathsome Chimera, but that will also get rid of my Voracious Typhon. So I think we're just fine still passing here. And then hopefully we can draw something good still off the top next turn. Okay, I guess I don't mind putting the Nyx Herald in front of it. Since I don't mind losing it, and then I can escape my Typhon or something. We'll see. Yep, okay. I mean, still results in a trade, so I don't hate it. Unless he pumps it, of course, but it still results in a trade, which is fine. And the Scholar can start milling, so that's good. I mean, it can start enabling escape. So, do I want to escape anything? The Loathsome Chimera will just get blanked. I think we just want to get the Voracious Typhon out. So if I guess I can escape the Typhon this turn. I guess that's not enough mana. Yeah, that's probably not enough mana, so I'll probably just activate the Skola end of turn instead. He's going to sack this to Scry 2. And hopefully I don't mill anything too important, because I probably need like a Wings of Hubris. Or a removal spell to deal this Incendiary Oracle. He's keeping one on top, so he could have a removal spell here. Like a Dreadful Apathy, that would suck. I can activate this twice. Okay, land off the top is good. Let's mill another land, hopefully. Okay, I don't mind losing that card. And now I guess we can escape a Voracious Typhon. And then we can still activate the Skola end of turn. And then we can just pass. Could see a Dreadful Apathy here. Vanishing Light. Okay, even worse. Right, so now we need to keep enabling us. We do need to activate the Skola a lot more now just to put more stuff into a yard, so that sucks. Well, the Drag to the Underworld would have answered this Incendiary Oracle nicely. Guess I don't mind just activating again. Maybe we can play out the Loathsome Chimera here. And then maybe we can offer that to trade. Maybe his opponent's just relying on me to self-mill myself. Another hero of the games, okay. I can definitely lose to some sort of go wide Wrapped in Flames attempt. Nessine Hornbeetle, pretty strong. I don't mind trading this for the Incendiary Oracle. He just wants me to mill my deck, I think. Okay. Dreadful Apathy. Final Flare. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was. Okay. I actually don't mind that. I guess he doesn't want my Nessine Hornbeetle grow. That's fine. I'll just keep milling. I actually don't mind trading off this with a Moss Viper. And taking 3. Warbriar's Blessing would have been great. I guess I don't mind just escaping this Typhon. The question is, do I want to cast a Relentless Pursuit? Probably not. I think I'm just probably gonna stop milling myself, because I do need to find kind of like my Wings of Hubris to win the game. Did he top deck something again? Hopefully he doesn't top deck anything good. Because he's just going to escape the Rage Hound, okay. I'm hoping I don't mill my Wings of Hubris, because that's the only way I can actually win, I think. But maybe milling is still correct here. Just to have enough food for the Typhon. Yeah, I'll risk it. Okay, land is good. Okay, there we go. Now we can get rid of this Oracle before it becomes a bigger nuisance. Hope he doesn't top deck another Flicker. Okay, now we're good. Now we can move to attacks. We can start beating down. And we can keep escaping it. You can keep escaping this, that's fine. I guess I might need to stop attacking for a while. Because if I do, I'm gonna eventually run out of food for the graveyard. What's this? Sentinel's Eyes? I actually don't mind Sentinel's Eyes. So I don't have to attack, I can just stay back. Yeah, we don't have to attack, we can just stay back. And hopefully, yeah, just more lands. Yeah, we'll just stay back. And yeah, we don't have to attack or anything. Just force his Underworld Rage Hound to attack, and then sure, he can get back, but yeah, he's gonna have to keep consuming his own graveyard for it. Guess I don't mind putting my Skola and Caryatid onto it now. Given the fact I don't really want to mill myself or ramp anymore, so something like this is good. And they also go into the graveyard to help fuel escape. Guess this also brings back a creature with the Dawn Evangel, so I forgot about that. Sure. Okay, do I really want Mire Triton here? Probably not. I think we'll just stay back with both. Yeah, I'm running low on cards. I can't really afford to attack here. Just kind of have to just stay back here and grind them out. Guess he's just here to bring back the Oracle. Makes sense. So he can exile my escape creatures. But unfortunately, he needs defense here. He not only does he need to play the Incendiary Oracle, but he also needs to escape the Rage Hound. Otherwise, I can just do too much damage to him. Just need to find removal for this Incendiary Oracle, like this Warbriar's Blessing. Okay, I guess it's just game over here. Game over now, I mean. Yeah, I guess he can't kill any of them, so he has to chump here. Yeah, and he doesn't have anything at instant speed. So we're in good shape. Yeah. Okay, currently 4-0. Let's keep playing. Use the restroom real quick. 1 moment. Not sure if anyone need to know that. Okay, this is a keep. I like the Wings of Hubris in the opening hand. Skola, test and training seems pretty good. Okay, and there's Elysian Caryatid. We'll just play the Grove Dancer. This will help him ramp out Typhon, I guess, on turn 4. That can be quite scary. Ooh, Pelucranos. Yeah, not sure if I can beat a Pelucranos. It's usually just game over when he enters the battlefield. I can't even fight it. Guess I can always fight the 1-1, so he doesn't ramp. I don't think the Wings of Hubris can race him fast enough, so maybe I need to Relentless Pursuit and do something good. Like my own Typhon and another land. Yep. But I'll be taking a lot. I could just tank this Pelucranos. I guess I don't mind blocking Pelucranos here and shrinking it down, so then my Voracious Typhon can eventually fight it. Of course, he can eventually escape this as well. So I kind of need to be careful not to help him fuel his yard. That's a Loathsome Chimera, a pretty strong card. And the Soul Reaper Mogus. Guess we're just going to play out the Typhon here. Maybe we can fight the Pelucranos. And then hold off the Loathsome Chimera. Or fight it as well. So I'm definitely going to have to take 8. Okay, we're going to take more than 8. Yeah, this is a lot of damage. Guess I have to take it. Yeah, this is essentially almost game over if I can't deal with this. So I guess I'm still in this. I might as well fight everything off before he kills me. I mean, I could have fought the Soul Reaper too. Oops, that was bad. Yep, that was bad. Never mind. I just lost. I shouldn't have done that. I should have maybe just fought and played out the Loathsome Chimera. What was I thinking? I didn't have enough toughness to survive that. That was just bad. Yeah, Pelucranos is a scary card. Can't really defeat it. So first loss, that's fine. I think this deck is still good. Maybe, hopefully we can get to 7. Huge misplay. Should just play out the Chimera and just held on to the second Warbriar's Blessing. Or I could have fought off the Soul Reaper Mogus. Turn 4 Pelucranos. So busted. Can't defeat that card. It's a 4-mana 6/6 second fight anything, and then in the late game it comes in as a 12/12. It's such a powerful card that you definitely need Graveyard Hate to deal with it, which his deck doesn't have any. Alright, not a bad hand. I think I'll keep. I can always play a Triton turn 1, turn 2, or play the Nessian Wanderer first. I guess I don't mind just playing the Nessian Wanderer. There's a chance he could play something and I want to kill it and I need to hit my land drop. So Nessian Wanderer maybe is correct. Okay, we got a land off the top, so that's pretty good. So some sort of blue-green constellation deck, I'm assuming. Loathsome Chimera can hit pretty hard. We can get back from the graveyard. Just pass a turn. Okay, I'm liking this. Let's move to combat. Could see a Vexing Goal being flashed in. It's definitely holding priority for something. Yup, that's fine. If he wants to trade for it, that's totally fine with me. We can play out the Mire Triton to help enable escape in the future. Hopefully no lands. I need lands. Well, that's one land, and the Wings of Hubris is also powerful win condition, so that's not a good mill. We can definitely kill off Siona, however, and maybe get a land. Yeah, I think I like that. Siona is a perfect target for this Mire's Grasp. And get a land, please. Land is good. We did have to bottom a Nessian Hornbeetle, but maybe we can get it back eventually after casting all these Constellation cards. Dreadful Apathy is quite nice. I can Inevitable end it. Alternatively, I can just play out the Venomous Hierophant. Don't mind the Hierophant, just help fuel the escape. Maybe I can get him to exile our Loathsome Chimera first. Could attack them for 2 as well, offer to trade. Guess I don't mind attacking for 2. I could see an Ominous Sun, but maybe that's still okay. Do need to deal some damage to him. Okay, opponent just takes 2. I want him to use a Dreadful Apathy on the Loathsome Chimera, because if I don't, then he's going to use it on my Typhon, which is even worse. I could actually see a counterspell here, given that he's keeping all his mana open. I'm willing to risk it here. Okay. Vexing Goal, okay, just a bunch of flyers. Staggering Insight, okay, so hopefully no Starlight Mantle. I guess I also have access to drag to the Underworld if he has Starlight Mantle, so I don't actually mind using the Mire's Grasp on it. Protean Domaturg, pretty scary card. So I guess I can just kill them both here. Yeah. Okay, currently 5-1. Let's do this. Let's get another nice 7-win Theros Beyond Death draft that didn't have to be Rakdos Sacrifice / Escape. Seems good. It's like we have this Caryatid every single opening hand. It's like the RNG Jesus loves us here. The RNG gods wants to shine upon us. Just need some creatures off the top, hopefully. So blue-red flash deck. Stinging Lionfish, okay. I'll just play out Voracious Typhon, I guess. I guess I don't mind trading this Moss Viper for the 2/1, since it's pretty annoying. And I can start tapping my Typhon down on my turn. Eidolon of Philosophy. Mischievous Chimera. Okay, I think the Chimera definitely needs to be dealt with. So I'm fine just using Mars Grasp on it. And we can just play out Skola. And then we can move to combat. I'm fine just swinging both. If he wants to trade an Eidolon for the Moss Viper, I'm quite happy because he won't be able to draw cards. And let's just end the turn. Blue-red Flash isn't super amazing unless you get the Wavebreak Hippocamp. Outside the Wavebreak Hippocamp, it's pretty bad. Arena Trickster, I guess I'll just inevitably end that one. Alternatively, I could just attack. Offer the Typhon. And then we can maybe hopefully escape it later. Since I already have Skull in the deck. So yeah, maybe that's fine, just offering the Typhon here. Attacking with both. I actually don't mind this trade. Well, now I guess I'll end the Trickster here. And I can start activating the graveyard end of turn. So another nice removal spell into the yard that we can use to escape the Typhon. Illyrios is quite nice. So it's pretty hard to deal with this escape creature since I can just keep bringing it back. So the opponent will definitely be disincentivized to attacking us. And now we also have a Venomous Hierophant that can start enabling escape. So we're just going to keep attacking for 4, hoping the opponent just chump blocks. He doesn't really have any good blocks either way. Doesn't seem like I guess he forgot to use his instant speed spell. And he just passed priority, so that's going to hurt. So that's a free kill for me. And I guess we're fine just playing out the Venomous Hierophant. And that can start enabling escape. We can also activate the Skola Grove Dancer. Find maybe like our second Typhon or the Loathsome Chimera. Also, life gain is quite relevant too. He probably has a flash trick that he wants to use against our Typhon. We're fine just milling our deck to find our other escape creatures. Relentless Pursuit, don't mind if I do. Ominacy to tap down the Typhon, okay. Seems fine. I guess I can always just keep the Venomous Hierophant back. Or I can trade it. The Sting Lionfish is getting annoying, so I do want to deal with it eventually. So I need to find a removal spell maybe eventually, but we'll see. Final Flare, okay. I mean, the fact that he's using it, using 2 of these spells on my phase is quite nice. So we just need to keep activating the Skola to find our escape creatures and hopefully win that way. We'll just pass. I could also attack him for 1. Don't know how relevant that is. I'll attack him for 1. It's quite nice. He's at 8. Don't mind a trade. Yep, this trade's up, so he's trading down, so I'm in good shape. So I do need to find my escape creatures. Eidolon, that can draw him cards later. Okay. So he might just take 4 this turn. More lands off the top. Let's move to combat. I guess I don't mind just activating the Skola still. Maybe if I find a Loathsome Chimera, I can cast it. I guess I can't, so let's just wait until next turn. Hopefully we can find a Loathsome Chimera or something. Opponent's planning to use the Eidolon, I think. Oh, there's our Typhon. Okay, that's pretty good. I can actually activate it again. Maybe I don't need to activate it again. I have enough stuff in the graveyard. I just want to take my draw step. So let's move to combat. And then escape the Typhon. He's probably going to chump and sack and draw a million cards. That's okay. He's going to have to use up his whole turn. And then we can just escape our Typhon. And then put out a 7/7 that he eventually needs to deal with. Does it really matter? Not really. And that's the power of Black-Green Escape. You just have so many, you can just enable escape so easily. You can just start, okay, that's a bomb, but we do need to kill it, or we do need to kind of close the game out. Hopefully, this Voracious Typhon gets the job done. I guess I can just play out the Berserker. And we can still keep up the drag to the Underworld. So I don't mind just giving my Skola indestructible since it's at 3 toughness. And they can also attack. So I guess he can just block the Voracious Typhon and then take, essentially just take 3. Opponent also passes the turn without any flash tricks, so it's quite interesting. If he taps out with a trick, I'm just going to use the Drag to the Underworld. He needs to block the Voracious Typhon, of course. I'm going to Drag to the Underworld the Nadir Kraken, so he definitely needs to play something here to deal with this 4/4. I guess it's a Final Flare. But he will have mana for Starlight Mantle, unfortunately, yeah. So I'm just hoping that this Drag to the Underworld resolves before he draws something. Okay, that resolves, so that's good. Good game. Yeah. Alright, it's final boss. I don't really think our deck is that good. I think it's decent. It's definitely not like A tier or anything. It's just a good deck, I think. So I'm actually quite surprised we actually managed to get this far. So yeah, let's add this to our inventory. Let's do a quick overview of this deck before we move on to the final boss. It could be because most people just don't really know how to play this deck. But anyways, we have 3 escape creatures, Loathsome Chimera and double Voracious Typhon kind of as our win conditions. And our big beefy creatures, plus the Rage God Berserker, but our main focus is mostly trying to fuel up our yard to recast the Loathsome Chimera and the Voracious Typhon and escape them. In terms of removal, we do have a lot, maybe too much. We have a Drag to the Underworld, an Inevitable End, triple Mars Grasp, and double Warbriar's Blessing. All of those which play well for our large creatures, of course, and they can also enable Consolation for the Nessian Wanderer to hit our land drops. We're running 16 lands due to the fact that we're running double Setessan Trainings, which essentially just cycle themselves, and actually, if the creature ends up dying with the Setessan Training, it's actually quite good for us, since that can go into the graveyard and enable escape for our creatures. We are running a relatively low creature curve, but the fact that we can constantly escape the Typhon and the Loathsome Chimera is a good reason to run a low creature curve. Also, First Iroan Games also counts as a creature, so we're most likely just running 14 creatures at the very least. I mean, yeah, 14 creatures, actually 13 creatures at the very least. So yeah, due to the fact that we're running a low creature amount, we could also just kind of adjust the deck, I think. We can perhaps shave a Setessan Training off and put in, I don't know, maybe a Scavenging Harpy or a Rage Scar Berserker. I can also see the argument of perhaps cutting a a Warbriar's Blessing and maybe throwing in a Return to Nature to deal with other potential annoying escape creatures too in the deck. So maybe we can try that out, given that this is the final draft. We could just maybe get rid of a Warbriar's Blessing, put in a Return to Nature instead. But I mean, with 16 lands, I do want my double Setessan Training, so maybe we don't need the Scavenging Harpy anyways. And the reason we're cutting the Warbriar's Blessing is because most of our creatures are not that large to fight with, except the Voracious Typhon and the Rage-Scarred Berserker. And the Return of Nature can definitely deal with a lot of annoying enchantments in this set. And I actually don't mind main deck and copy now that I think about it, due to the fact that we can run into weird situations where the opponent has a Dreadful Apathy or Banishing Light to deal with our escape creatures, and we have no way to kind of prevent that from happening. So maybe the Return to Nature is actually a better card than the Warbriar's Blessing in our deck. And the fact that triple Mara's Grasp is already very efficient makes me want to keep 3 Mara's Grasp over a Warbriar's Blessing, which is much more conditional, and you do kind of need some creature on the battlefield first. I think this is our deck, obviously, and I don't think we need Scavenging Harpy due to the fact that we have Wings of Hubris already. We could end up building the Wings of Hubris, but I still don't think it's very effective. So yeah, overall, decent 16 land Golgari escape deck, this deck somehow just overperformed for some reason. I think I'd rather have Voracious Typhon as my picture since it seems to be the MVP of our deck. Same with what else? I guess the Elysian Caryatid we saw in our opening hand, so both of these cards definitely doing a lot of work in this deck. So anyways, off to the final boss. Maybe we're just facing against a bunch of bronze and gold opponents, because I haven't seen a challenge yet throughout this draft, except that one game where we lost to the guy who cast Pelugrinos on turn 4. That was definitely unbeatable. But here we have our final match. Let's scoop up our nice 7 wins. Okay, opening hand. Well, it's not as amazing as the turn 2 Elysian Caryatid, but we do have Skola and Nyx Herald, and we also have Return to Nature to deal with a potential enchantment that will arrest our Voracious Typhon. So this hand does need a bit of work, but we're on the draw, and I think it's a fine keep. So red-green power 4 matters, okay. Do I want to Mara's Grasp that? I mean, I have 2 of them in my hand already. And I don't know if I want to trade off my Skola. I think due to the fact that I have 2 Mara's Grasp in my hand, I'm fine just using this ASAP before it deals too much damage. It's of course the pretty annoying escape creature that he can get back. Here I don't really have any 4-powered creatures. I guess I'm fine just playing out the Skola. If I get a land next turn, I can hopefully lock down this Warden, but he's going to deal 4 to me. Okay, not good. So probably need a land off the top. No lands. Okay, this is bad. This might just be a disaster. Guess I'll be taking 8 per turn unless I Mara's Grasp one of them. So maybe I just Mara's Grasp here, and then maybe I'll just take 4. I guess this doesn't count as a 4-powered creature anymore, so he can't attack. Okay, not bad. So we can use this Mars Grass to buy some time. Although it doesn't kill it, it's what we have to do. Nyx Herald won't be 4-powered, so at least this Ada Omen of the Forge instead of the Nessian Hornbeetle. Wondering why this can attack. Oh, he owns a 4/4? Okay, never mind. So now what? Do I want to inevitable end anything here? I guess I want to maybe just hit my land drops for the Relentless Pursuit. Alternatively, there is a Nyx Herald, or I can just... I guess I can also just return to nature on the Nyx Herald. Maybe he's running out of resources, but I guess it's going to hit me for 3, which I don't want. So maybe we just take 2 and take out the Nyx Herald. We'll just pass the turn first. So in case he plays a large constellation creature, that's... I guess he can also pump his Warden with the Nyx Herald. So maybe before combat we can just kill the Nyx Herald before he pumps the Warden and decide to diversify. He can of course eventually escape the Underworld Rage Hound, which we don't want him to do. Oh no, he's pumping it. Okay, so he gets to get an extra damage in. I can also just exile the Rage Hound, of course. So this is quite interesting. Huh. Maybe I can just take 4 and exile the Rage Hound. Maybe that's not as bad as I think it is, because it's definitely gonna be a thorn on my side. Because he'll eventually just get it back, and then he can attack with the 4/4. So yeah, maybe we just spend the turn off to just exile the Rage Hound. So we can lock this 4/4 down, and then land is good. Now the Voracious Typhon can hold the fort, and hopefully it doesn't have any removal. Warbriar's Blessing, okay, that's not good, but at least we can escape the Typhon back eventually, but it's still going to take a while. We're going to take 4 here, which isn't good. So I guess we can just play out the Nessian Hornbeetle. Take 3. Guess I don't mind just taking 3. Hopefully it's not too much damage. I guess we can also just double block the Nyx Herald. It's not a bad idea. Mystic Repeal, okay. Well, good games. That was a worthy final boss, full of removal and 4-powered creatures. Okay. Right, on to the final boss. I guess that final boss was too much for us. Maybe we just need a second final boss. I'll be happy to face him again though, so don't mind just queuing up ASAP. Okay, I guess it's a 2-minute mark. No one wants to draft Theros. Everyone's just doing Corsa 2021 or Dominaria. Okay, just want to get this nice 7 wins. I've been waiting for a 7-win black-green escape deck until now. Tired of drafting the black-red sacrifice deck. Okay, maybe this is our worthy final boss, a gold opponent, trying to hide his mythic rank. But here we have a nice Nessian Hornbeetle on 2, plus Skola Grove Dancer. We just need some forward power creatures to get this going. But it seems like a pretty good keep. Also, Wings of Hubris in our opening hand is quite nice too, since we don't have to end up milling it, and it can be a powerful win condition. And Elysian Caryatid can help us ramp both of these creatures out. Also quite nice. Could maybe see a commanding presence on this, and maybe the Moss Viper can 2-for-1 itself to get rid of this. Favorite of Iros is quite scary. Ooh, Rageguard Berserker. Guess we're fine just deploying both our 2-drops and taking some hits from this favorite of Iros. Alternatively, I can just play out the Moss Viper and fight this away. Maybe I'll just wait until he puts out a commanding presence first, and we'll just take it slowly. There's really no need for us to do anything. I'm hoping he plays a commanding presence here and kind of, okay, no commanding presence. Okay. Sentinel's Eyes instead. Sure. So that's going to hit pretty hard. Guess I'm taking 6 or 7. Guess I need to cast my Moss Viper and get rid of it before it kills me. Sure, we'll just 2-for-1 ourselves. Not very good, but I think we have to, just so we don't end up dying here. And then maybe we can trade off the Skola for the Cetizen Skirmisher, and hopefully resolve this Iro's Blessing, his First Iroan Games. Okay, opponent's staying back, so that's giving us enough time. Land is pretty good, since now we can just cast the Rageguard Berserker, but we're not really looking to attack this turn, I don't think. So maybe we can step up the Iroan Games instead. And that can draw us into some cards. The Rageguard Berserker can be nice next turn, since it's a 4-powered creature, so in case they deal with our 1/1 token, we can eventually just make a 4/4. I actually want his 3/2 to attack here. Skola, okay. I guess I'll be taking 4. I don't mind taking 4 here. Or I can chump it. I guess I'd rather just chump it. Yeah, we'll just chump it here. I don't really want to take too much damage. And then we can just grow our Skola with the First Iroan Games. We can play the land out, play out the Rageguard Berserker. I guess we can pump our Skola and get him for 5, hopefully. I guess we can also equip and give it the wings. I highly doubt he's going to chump it. So I think we just move to attacks first. Attacking for 6. I actually don't mind a chump. Opponent, of course, just takes it. And now what we can do is we can put the Wings of Hubris onto the Rageguard Berserker, so it can block the 1/2 from attacking, and we'll just pass. And next turn we get to draw 2 cards and constantly grow our Nessian Hornbeetle. So we're in decent shape. However, this Cetizen Skirmisher will be pretty annoying with the Sentinel's Eyes that he can eventually escape, but he doesn't have enough fuel in the yard yet. Okay. He's just going to try to trigger Constellation, I guess. So now what? I guess we'll be taking 3. Okay. Guess I can still hold off the 3/5 with the Flyer and take 4 in the air. I mean, take 4 from the Skirmisher. I guess I'll take 4, and hopefully I can stabilize. Maybe Skola Grove Dancer can gain me some life over time. We'll just stay back. Mars Triton is quite nice. It helps me stabilize here. Return to Nature isn't bad. I can destroy the Transcendent Envoy, and I can also Mars Grasp the Cetessan Skirmisher, so I think that's actually quite good. I guess we don't mind just spending 2 mana here instead. Then we also gain some life, which is quite nice. The land milling from the skull is also nice. We can attack in for 5. I guess we can also attack in for. I guess we can also attack in with everyone. Yeah, he doesn't have any good blocks. I'll attack in with all. And we can just equip the wings onto maybe the Mars Tritons, and maybe we can trade for whatever he decides to use the Sentinel's Eyes on. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. We'll just equip Sigo. And I'm fine trading off my Mars Triton with whatever creature he puts the Sentinel's Eyes on. And this has Death Touch too, so that's quite nice. Familiar, okay, so maybe he's planning to equip the Familiar with the Sentinel's Eyes. I guess his plan is just to make his Nessian Wanderer large enough that that we can't attack past it. But the Cetessan Train does make me happy. So now what? Guess we don't mind just using the Cetessan Training onto the Nessian Hornbeetle since they can grow out of hand eventually. Next Herald we can just cast, I guess. Do we really need to move the wings? So this is going to be at 5 toughness. So I guess I don't want his flyer to get in, so I guess I'd rather just move the combat, attack with... I guess I don't mind the Rage Scar Berserker attacking as well. Well, I guess this is going to be at 6 toughness with the pump. So sure. So I guess I don't mind this attack. Yeah, this attack seems fine. He's even chumping all of this, so this makes me even more happier. Who, Elspeth? Luckily, Elspeth doesn't. Luckily, Elspeth doesn't.
If you are going to fight,
yeah, luckily Elspeth doesn't exile or destroy any creatures. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, nice 7-2 video. Finally drafting Black Green Escape, my favorite archetype. Too bad we didn't pick up any Woolstriders or Farika spawns or any other amazing. There wasn't too many amazing rares besides the First Iroan Games in our deck. Yeah, not too many bombs, I think. Let me check. Yeah, no bombs, just a bunch of removal spells, a bunch of fight spells. First Iroan Games is what I would consider a bomb, and then 2 excellent escape creatures. 3, in fact, with the Loathsome Chimera. So overall, not a really impressive Black-Green Escape deck. Pretty vanilla, but still managed to overperform and get the job done. I guess Nessian Hornbeetle can be a bomb if you don't kill it early and it just grows out of hand. But yeah, not bad for a decent, a quick draft. So let's claim our prize. Let's fire off. Let's just not fire off, but let's pretend we're drafting Theros Beyond Death. Pack 1, pick 1. What do we have the fine pleasure of opening? Dalacros is not amazing and limited. Don't ever try it. It sucks. There is Alseed of Life's Bounty for the white blue Aura's deck with Staggering Insight, I guess, is also pretty good in white green if you have the commanding presence and you want to protect it, but you still need to have those auras first before this becomes amazing. There is Blood Aspirant, which is excellent in the black-red sacrifice deck, but it's more of a gold card. Looking at its pack, there's a Daybreak Chimera, which is quite excellent if you can play this in any white deck. Essentially, even if you don't have that much white devotion, you can still cast this as a 4-mana 3/3 flyer, so that's good. And Loathsome Chimera as an excellent escape creature that you can constantly get back over and over. Overall, I don't really know how to evaluate the power level of this pack. All 4 of these cards seem pretty good in their respective archetypes. Loathsome Chimera in red-green or black-green escape. Blood Aspirant in black-red sacrifice. I'll see it in any Constellation deck where you're trying to protect a creature with a powerful enchantment onto it. And Daybreak Chimera, excellent in any white deck, but obviously better the more white devotion you have. So I don't know. Given that black-green is probably the best archetype in the set, I'll probably just take a Loathsome Chimera. Pretty excellent 3-drop. Beats down pretty hard, and then you can just escape this to bring this back, so it's pretty infuriating to deal with. But overall, I think all 4 of these cards are at a similar power level. I'll take an Incendiary Oracle as a good 2-drop. You can punt this late in the game. If it manages to deal damage to any escape creatures, it exiles, so it's pretty annoying to deal with. But of course, you do need to keep up mana to pump this, otherwise a 2-mana 2/2 isn't going to attack past anything or block past anything, so that was a pretty bad pack. Anyways, yep, another nice 7 videos for my channel. I might fire off one more Theros Beyond Death before we dive onto Dominaria. I'm happy that I didn't actually record that draft. Where I resigned with the Dominaria draft. I didn't even play a game. It was so horrendous, that yeah, it was definitely not worth recording or putting onto my channel. So anyways, have a great day. Maybe we do one more Theros Beyond Death draft before we dive right back on into Dominaria. So yep.